Good afternoon. I'm going to take presidential privilege and interrupt your conversations. Well, as I said, good afternoon, and I will begin, as I always do, with expressing two emotions. First of all, gratitude. I am grateful for your presence here today. I continue to remain to be grateful for all that you do on behalf of our college. And as I think about this now, halfway through my third year as president, I can continue to tell you that this is indeed my greatest professional and personal joy and privilege to serve as your president. I know that this is where I am called to be and to serve, and I wake up every day, including this morning, on 5 hours of sleep. So see, I'm supposed to stay mostly on script, but you know me by now, I like to walk and talk, and I don't like to script or be scripted, and I'd rather just tell stories. And so anyway, my son had a hockey game last night up in Marlborough, Mass, and so I rolled in this morning at 1:30 from his game. But my point in sharing that story with you is even on short sleep, I wake up every day energized to serve as your president. And so here we are, gathered as a community in the newly renovated Hubert Campus Center in the Bean Community Room. It is very nice. I'm so happy to be back on campus because, we opened it with, of course, all the fanfare, and then I had to go off and travel. And I've heard that it has been a resounding success, and the smoothie bars, a hit and so forth, and I haven't even had one yet. But here we are. It is January 2020, and we sit at the doorstep to the academic year 2020-21, which will be the 95th anniversary for Albertus Magnus College since its founding in 1925 by the Dominican sisters, who, as I have often shared, it is my opinion, had the vision and foresight and were brave and bold enough to travel east to found this college as the first residential Catholic liberal arts college in New England for women in 1925. They answered a call, they answered a need, and they bestowed then what today is a precious gift: our Catholic identity and our Dominican mission. And so as I deliver my annual State of the College remarks to you, it is through the context of our ability to fulfill and deliver on that mission that I frame my remarks. Yesterday, as you may know, it was the feast day of St. Thomas Aquinas. We had a nice liturgy, and one of St. Thomas's quotes reads, "Love takes up where knowledge leaves off." So I'm realizing that love is a recurring theme for my inspiration as president. You may recall in my inaugural address, I referenced the quote from you all, the Albertus faculty and staff, and it was the faculty, when we were doing that research around the theme for the inauguration, who observed that we love our students into soaring to become their best selves. I also referenced in my remarks that day quotes from St. Albert and St. Catherine of Siena around the theme of love. And then a year ago, you may recall, because of snowstorms, we had to postpone the State of the College address, and I delivered it on Valentine's Day. So this love theme seems to circle around me. And I've said many times, I do love my job. But St. Thomas, in that quote, reminds us of what I believe to be a defining point of distinction for how our Albertus Magnus College community fulfills its mission, sharing with our students the knowledge associated with their degrees, but doing so with genuine love. This is no ordinary college. Rather, it is a college with an extraordinary commitment to mission. When I consider the mission of Albertus Magnus College and our collective ability and effectiveness at fulfilling that Dominican mission, I can begin today, as I have in each of my 2 previous State of the College addresses, in declaring to you that the state of Albertus Magnus College is both strong and sound. In reflecting back over this past year on all that we have accomplished and all that we have achieved, there is so much for which we can be proud. We are delivering on our mission. To find evidence, one needs only to observe the palpable joy and sense of achievement on the part of the students, younger and older, each year at our commencement ceremony. There is no more compelling evidence that we are fulfilling our mission than to observe that. Further evidence, however, that we are fulfilling our mission with success can be seen in our graduates' successes. This past year, for the 3rd in a row, 6 months after graduation, our graduates were employed full-time or in graduate school of a rate of at least 95% versus the national benchmark comparison of 80%. And then more recently, you may recall, the Georgetown Center for Education in the Workplace did its analysis of graduates from 4,500 colleges around the country. And their goal was to assess long-term or lifetime value of degrees. And so they looked at salary earnings data. And in their conclusion, in their analyses, graduates of Albertus Magnus College among the 4,500 colleges in that study for 40-year lifetime return ranked in the top 10% of those 4,500 colleges. These are important proof points to the value and the relevancy of our mission. So yes, we are successful in achieving our mission, but I remind myself every day, and if I may, I will remind all of us, we still have room for improvement. There is more to be done. We cannot become complacent. And again, if I hark back to my inaugural address, I shared that this college was founded with a purpose of accepting nothing less than excellence. I hold that directive close to my heart in my leadership. In this current year, and in our upcoming 95th anniversary year, and certainly as we strive toward our centennial in 2025 and beyond, we will seek nothing less than excellence in fulfilling our Dominican mission and achieving the bold vision that is at the front of our emerging strategic plan. So let me speak to some examples of how we are excellent and how we need to strive for greater excellence. But as I do so, please know that in this limited time format, in my attempt at brevity, I'm sure I will inevitably miss something, miss someone. I mean no disrespect. This was just an attempt at painting a picture for you, and there is a lot of artwork to be done in that painting. So let me start with finances. In each of my 3 previous State of the College addresses, I've shared with you the actual year-end budget results from the previous years and where we were year to date in the current fiscal year. And I did that to be transparent regarding the inherent structural budget deficits that this college was experiencing in its recent years, and our shared work around moving toward balancing those budgets. Today, I want to start to shift our focus in a different way. So on this slide, what you have is where we stand with our current year budget, the fiscal year 20 budget. And as you know, the Board of Trustees approved an operating budget of a $1.8 million deficit. And although we haven't run official census results for January, they run at the end of the month, but through mid-year, our forecast is that we will come in at that budget of a $1.8 million deficit, which is important because, and this is the difference, as now what we start to do is we focus on the future. And so what you have in front of you is a 3-year outlook toward future budgets. And I have to stress to you the preliminary placeholder status of these pro forma budgets in the out years. With that being said, they are built on actual data. They are built on actual projected enrollments and revenues and expenses. But the takeaway here is as we shift our focus to the future, within 2 years, worst case scenario, we will be operating with balanced budgets and generating positive year-end margins for this college as we move forward. And that is where our focus has to be. We have learned from the past, and our focus now is on how we move toward that bright, bold future that I often talk about. Let me shift to enrollments for a moment. Here, we continue to be positioned favorably. This past fall, as I think everyone well knows, we enrolled the largest incoming first-year transfer traditional age class in the almost 95-year history of this college. Nearly 270 of them. And we can see them all over campus. And I know they're in your classrooms and in the buildings. But to put that into context for you, I remind all of us that just 2 short years ago, the incoming class in 2017 numbered about 115. I call that to your attention because that is your good work that has resulted in this growth. It is your good work that has spread the word about Albertus, that has spread the word about the value of an Albertus Magnus College degree, and it is your good work that positions us favorably for the future. And in the world of enrollment management, as Andrea Kovacs is quickly learning, we never rest on our laurels, and it is always, what have you done for me lately? This year, as we start to think about the class that will enroll in the fall, year to date, we are running 25% ahead with applications. Admission decisions have been going out with financial aid awards, and I will remind all of us, and frankly thank all of you for how we have embraced as a community our commitment to our enrollment management success as we approach the spring, which is our yield season. And a reminder that every time we see a prospective student or a parent walking on this campus, it is an opportunity to influence them positively toward choosing Albertus Magnus College. As you know, also, in the PGS area, our enrollments didn't come in where we budgeted them for this year, and actually beginning last spring. With that acknowledgement, we have redoubled our recruitment and our marketing efforts in the PGS area. We are streamlining processes, and we're taking a necessary critical look at our program offerings and how we deliver those programs in all of our adult learner areas. Our success, I remind all of us, in meeting our PGS enrollment management goals and objectives is essential to the college's overall success in meeting our enrollment goals and objectives. I want to take this moment to again publicly express my gratitude to PGS Dean Annette Bosley Boyce, who served graciously as interim vice president for enrollment management. And with the appointment of Andrea Kovacs as interim vice president for enrollment management and marketing, Annette has returned her energy and her focus to the PGS area, and the newly formed Division of Enrollment Management and Marketing is poised to lead us forward in very positive ways. There is a noticeable buzz throughout the greater New Haven area about what is happening at Albertus Magnus College. I hear it time and again. Others share that observation with me. In our surrounding neighborhoods, our engagement and commitments are being welcomed and they're being championed. Our college-wide achievements are being captured and narrated by the media, in the news and across social media channels. Our highway billboards are a bright beacon for all to see. The college's website and our print materials, including From the Hill, are telling and narrating the stories of Albertus' impact. And I know that Andrea and I know that all of the directors in the enrollment and marketing areas are committed to working collaboratively across this campus as we continue the important work of implementing a market-centered strategic enrollment management and an integrated marketing philosophy and plan. Let me shift to advancement. In the fall, alumna Mary Young answered the call to return to Albertus as our new vice president for advancement. And as I begin my advancement remarks, here too, I take the opportunity to again express deepest gratitude to Carolyn Bean Krause for her many years of dedicated service in the advancement area and for her new efforts in providing coordinating leadership efforts for our events across campus. Carolyn, thank you. And although Mary has only been on the job a few months, she and her team are already seeing important and meaningful results. In the current fiscal year to date, through the end of January, our annual fund dollars are running 50% higher than a year ago at the same time. And in the leadership annual giving category, the President's Associates, we've had more than a 30% increase in the number of donors and dollars raised. Exclusive of bequests, the number of dollars raised is up more than 50% year over year. And speaking of bequests, this is where I have to think that the Dominican sisters look down on us. We, the college, is the beneficiary of a significant request this year, to date with more than $700,000 coming into the college in that bequest. I also shared at the opening of this building the pride that another Albertus alumna and Board of Trustees member, Tabitha Manafort, and her husband Justin are showing in committing to a six-figure leadership gift for the naming rights to the pub and to the rooftop deck that happens to overlook the softball playing field, where Tabitha, back in her time here, did not play on the turf field, as she has described it. She played in a swampland that the turf field replaced. But we are grateful for their commitment. And under Mary's leadership, we are off to a great start. And in the years ahead, we, as we look toward our centennial, we will conduct successfully a comprehensive fundraising campaign. The goals and the details of the campaign are still in the development stages. I mean, after all, we have a strategic plan that is not yet endorsed. But our success in our fundraising agenda, like in our enrollment management agenda, like in our grants agenda, those successes are drivers of our revenues. I mentioned strategic planning. On this slide, I included from the top of our planning framework that we should all be familiar with certainly by now, the affirmation of our mission and the plan's bold vision. Our planning that has included contributions from across our community started with that affirmation of mission. And together that vision was established, and by now we all should be aware that the plan has identified 4 overarching strategic priorities. As I've watched this process unfold, and as I've read particularly closely the plan as it's been drafted and where it stands today, what I see is evidence. I see evidence that we have remained true to our mission, and I also see evidence that the plan's priorities and initiatives not only position us to achieve that bold vision, but that our community's voices have been heard. Today, with all of us present, I will take the moment to thank our Strategic Planning Leadership Council members, Andrew Foster, Sister Ann Kilbride, Sean O'Connell, and Sarah Wallman, as well as the steering committee members and all of those of you who have served on the work groups throughout that process. Thank you to all of you. And because of your dedication to that planning, I am confident that when we bring the final version of the plan to the Board of Trustees, it will receive an enthusiastic vote of endorsement. Speaking of the Board of Trustees, I also would be remiss if I didn't again bring to your attention the essential and impactful support of our board. Since my arrival in 2017, they have been nothing less than embracing of ideas, my vision. They have been open-minded. They have had an open heart toward new ideas and new initiatives. And with new board chair Vin Petrini having just started, the board begins its next chapter in its evolution and in its fiduciary oversight. Vin and I recently attended the Association of Governing Boards Institute for Board Chairs and Presidents, and I have to tell you that spending the 3 days with Vin dedicated around board governance issues as the context of Albertus Magnus, I left there really inspired and really feeling good about Vin's leadership. Like his chair predecessor, Jean Dennison, who served her alma mater just with grace and commitment over her time of 2 decades plus as a trustee, Vin too is a champion for our mission and our vision, and he is fully committed to leading an engaged Board of Trustees moving forward. We've added 7 board members over the past 2 years, and the evolution of the board will continue in the years ahead. But we can all feel reassured, it is my opinion, and we can feel confident and grateful for the dedicated trustees who serve on behalf of the college. Let me shift to the ever-exciting topic of accreditation. Suffice to say, I've concluded that our shared workload is never boring, and it would seem never done. While we are about to wrap up strategic planning, we are already immersed in our 10-year NECHI accreditation review, which will culminate a year from April with the visiting team coming to our campus. I am grateful to Christine Atkins and Sean O'Connell, who are serving as the steering committee's co-chairs, along with their fellow steering committee members, Jennifer Deely, Deborah Fattini, and Viola Simpson, as well as, once again, what I believe is every one of you who are serving on one of the 9 NECHI work groups. So I do thank you all very much for your service on that. But I have to say, while it is a heavy lift, it is essential work. And it is essential on the one hand because it's kind of required for us to keep accreditation. But it is essential because it enables us to have the opportunity to do self-reflection on what we do and how we do it and how we deliver upon fulfilling our mission and the promises that we make to students. I'd be remiss here if I didn't mention that our Tagliatella School of Business programs in the last year were affirmed for reaccreditation by the International Accreditation Council for Business Education, and that our Master of Arts in Art Therapy and Counseling program also successfully achieved inaugural accreditation by the new Commission on the Accreditation of Allied Health Education Programs. Accreditation, whether it's at the program level or at the institution level, is at the heart of continuous improvement and renewal. So for all of those of you involved in those accreditation efforts, I thank you, and we all thank you for your efforts. So one of our 4 strategic priorities is academic innovation. Let me speak a bit to that topic. Ultimately, education is our raison d'etre, right? We exist as an higher education institution of education. Our faculty and our staff are at the heart of our enterprise. This year, we launched 2 new academic programs. The Interdisciplinary Bachelor of Science in Cybersecurity. My Boston accent slipped out there. Where's Carol? I'm sure she heard it. See you. Yeah, you understood what I said. And the new Bachelor of Science in General Health Sciences. And as I mentioned earlier, we're taking a look at our PGS program mix, and we need to continue to look at all of our academic programs to affirm for us that they remain relevant and viable in today's marketplace. And if you think about the part of our mission statement, it actually challenges us, in fact calls us, to provide an opportunity for learning which responds to the academic needs and ethical challenges of students and society. The past year saw a number of our long-serving, distinguished faculty retire. And I know I only speak for myself, having been here almost 3 years, but I know for all of us, we hated to see them retire. On the other hand, we celebrated the fact that they absolutely deserved the next chapter in their lives after having given so much to this college. And as has been and will always be the case, vacancies bring opportunity. And we've been really fortunate to bring into our community new faculty members who, like their predecessors, are embracing our mission and bringing new passion, new pedagogies, new experiences into their teaching, into their research, and into their service. Alberta's students are fortunate. I just returned from California. I was at the NCAA convention. We also hosted the first ever Los Angeles alumni chapter alumni reception in California, which was very exciting. We had 12 people there, And what I heard there is what I have heard time and again when I meet with alumni. I heard stories of Alberta's impact, and I heard stories of staff and faculty who directly impacted the lives of these alums. Names such as Bob Imholt, Jerry Coffey, Deb Frattini, Stephen Joy, Clara Munson, Nancy Fallon, Raga Mazen, Jerry Nevins, Susan Cole, Ron White, Pat Yeaman. These are the names that I hear time and again. And so I thank you. You need to understand that you live lives of impact. You make a difference in the lives of our students, as have your predecessors over the years. At this college for more than 9 decades, students have been positively shaped by the dedicated faculty and staff who serve on behalf of the college, and so I thank you all again. In the draft strategic plan, one of the initiatives that has captured the excitement of our community really from the moment that it started to emerge was the concept of a new Center for Arts and Innovation. The center is, in many ways, in my interpretation, a reflection of who we are and who we aspire to be. It's where discrete academic disciplines merge together, revealing what I believe to be their inherent interconnectedness and their relationships to each other. It's where faculty will come together to collaborate. It's a physical space where faculty, staff, and students, and others, will embrace a spirit of innovation and entrepreneurship, of arts and humanities, business and sciences, working together to create, to problem solve, to foster intellectual engagement and creativity. I'm pleased to share with you at the December meeting, the board authorized us, ahead of endorsing the new strategic plan, they authorized us to begin the important and essential process of concepting for the new Center for Arts and Innovation. I'm also pleased to share with you that the lead architect for that concepting process is another alumna who is answering the call to come home. Terry Hudak from the class of 1984, who, if memory serves me, was a communications major, but put that liberal arts education to work and went on to architecture school, and today is an accomplished, esteemed architect. Terry has re-engaged with her alma mater and will lead the concepting effort for the center. As we did for the campus center renovation, we'll convene a small committee that will help lead that effort, but we will engage input widely in thinking about what a new Center for Arts and Innovation should be for us at Albertus Magnus College. I believe most of you know that Dr. Norman Gray, who joined us in the summer as advisor to Dr. O'Connell for Arts and Innovation, Dr. Gray, and working with Dr. O'Connell, is already working on some temporary arts and innovation space that will be right here in this building, in the new student center, so that we can start to put this into practice even ahead of a permanent home for the building. I cannot wait to see the excitement that will emerge as we envision the new center. And speaking of facilities and innovation, again, this building was a labor of love for many. I'd be remiss if I didn't acknowledge the work of Bill Hawkins and Jim Shafrick and the entire, really, community, Andrew Foster, Steve Gestalder, but all of you who contributed to what today has become a center that is now brought into the 21st century that is a place of building community and that without question is better situated to serve the needs of our students and our staff and our faculty. So I thank you all for that. In addition, this year we opened newly renovated space in East Hartford, our new East Hartford campus. That having visited it myself, there is no question we are now better positioned to serve the needs of our adult learners in the Hartford area, and that was very exciting. As you know, we purchased, or rather repurchased, the property at 490 Prospect Street to be able to accommodate growing, what I believe will be ever-growing demand for Alberta's housing. I also want to call out to your attention again here the support of our board in that purchase. Timeline. We're going into May and June. Admission numbers are coming in. They're looking like this class is going to be bigger than we even anticipated. Andrew's running housing numbers to see where we're going to be able to put them. To say we were getting nervous is an understatement about being able to accommodate housing demand. And that property came on the market. And at its June meeting, without the full board having had opportunity to fully digest this beforehand, they listened, they read materials, and they authorized us to investigate the purchasing of that property. That board was nimble, that board was strategic, and were it not for them being so, we would not have been able to move as quickly as we did on that property. We also renovated this year the basement of Rosary Hall, making it a much more inviting place for our students to study, but also in that renovation, we created a new photography and digital media classroom, i.e. a makerspace in many ways. We renovated the athletic center's swimming pool area. And with our continued commitment to being more green and sustainability, we're either done with or almost done with installing the rooftop solar panels on the athletic center. We also have an initiative underway to install in a number of buildings and also with exterior lighting, new LED lighting, which will not only lessen the footprint, it will save us significant expenses in the utilities area in the years ahead. And our partnership with the City of New Haven continued with the renovation of the Ralph Walker skating rink. Now, albeit a bit behind schedule, that is a project that I wish it were our project. We are a little bit held to the city's schedule, but by this time, when our second year, it will be fully completed, and more on that in a moment. Let me switch to student services. We are gathered in many ways in the manifestation of innovative approaches in student services in this building. And as I said, I have heard the smoothie bar is a big hit. I can't wait to finally get my first one over there. But with that being said, we've also made important investments in the student services area, in particular things like expanding our student health wellness counseling in terms of personnel, offices, having those resources intentionally at night so that we can also cater to the needs of our PGS students. You also will recall in the fall that the incoming class was 8% international, which is new for us, and sure, a number of them were hockey players, but others were not. We brought in more international students in the spring. So right now, we are posting a position for a director of international student services. We have to have the resources to meet the needs of these students who come to us from other countries. I want to switch to intercollegiate athletics for a moment. We started a new men's ice hockey program this year. As every game has gone on, it seems that they are improving. Not even seems. There's no question they are improving. They've won games, 4 now. I just read this morning, I missed it last night, that they lost a heartbreaker in overtime last night. But every game they're getting better. So that makes me proud. What makes me more proud is that 26 of their student athletes earned Dean's List recognition this year. And what that does is it builds on the reputation of the athletics department across the board, that our student athletes come to us to not just compete, but to also earn their degrees. We also launched women's swimming and diving this year. And that program, too, has improved with every moment they've hit the water. In fact, not only did they win their first ever dual meet, on Friday of this week, they will be competing in the GNAC championships for the first time, and I suspect our GNAC competitors may face a few rip currents in the water in that competition. But our athletics teams are doing well across the board this year. In the fall, the men's and women's soccer teams both earned GNAC tournament berths. Our men's golf team won its first ever dual match. And as we look toward the spring, I know that our baseball, softball, men's and women's lacrosse, all of our teams will continue to compete. Men's basketball, by the way, is currently ranked number 19 in the country. And for those of you who may not be aware, we have a game tonight of some significance in the conference. And boy, it would be great for us to pack the stands with Albertus fans facing that fellow institution from up the road. I'll leave it there. Looking to the future, I'm pleased to share that we have begun discussions with the city of New Haven around building a locker room for a women's ice hockey program. And we have begun the important business development work around a plan to potentially field a team beginning in the fall 2021 academic year. And in the spirit of innovation and partnerships, we soon will be announcing a partnership between New Haven Country Club and the college for it to be the home to our men's golf program. But as we did with the city of New Haven, we are building into the contract the opportunity to bring a women's golf program forward too. And that partnership will allow us to host the GNAC Conference Championship this coming fall for the first time. And so we're excited about that partnership too. So I think it's safe to say we've accomplished a lot this year. Frankly, I'm in awe of all that you do. As I said, this was going to attempt to be a sketch on my part of sharing a lot of what we've accomplished. But as I wrap up my remarks, I remind you that a year ago, I shared this mathematical equation. It was amusing of sorts, maybe an eye toward the future. Hopefully you remember this slide. Hopefully you've digested it and processed it. Hopefully you figured out that the math really doesn't add up. But with that being said, it's not about the numbers. The numbers are simply illustrations from my perspective. You could put any number of other metrics up there, data points, but I stand by this equation today as I did a year ago because of what it represents. On this 29th day of January in this year 2020, on the eve of our 95th anniversary and with an eye toward our centennial, I believe our charge is to answer the call embraced and articulated by the Dominican Sisters in 1925 to make an Albertus Magnus College education available to those who might not otherwise have access to an education of such quality and distinctiveness. In 1925, it was women. In 2020 and beyond, it is students younger and older, diverse in their heritage and in their life experiences. And in answering that call, we must always seek nothing less than excellence in fulfilling our mission. Bold and fearless we must be. The success of our students must be our passion. And the fulfillment of that mission has been, is, and always must be our inspiration. Albertus Magnus College faculty and staff, friends and colleagues, the state of this college is strong and sound. I am deeply grateful for all that you do, and I look forward to serving alongside you in the years ahead. I thank you for your presence today. Thank you.